Hi, I'm Max Feinstein, and we're gonna make some happy little trees with our guitars today.
Hey everyone, Johnny Rock here today with Max Feinstein. We're going to be talking a little bit about who Max is, what he's doing on the record, and so let's start. Max, could you please tell us about where you're from, where you grew up, and how old were you when you first started playing music?
I was raised in Montclair, New Jersey, until I was 14 years old, in which time I moved with my family to Hoboken, New Jersey. I asked for a guitar at 12 years old. I had seen some friends of mine from middle school playing a cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit, and it was just loud, and it was right in front of me, and I had to be a part of it. Nobody expected it to stick. I didn't either. I just wanted to look cooler to girls, and here we are now. It's the most important thing in my life. I remember the first time I deliberately listened to music. My parents would play it in the car, largely show tunes like Into the Woods and Guys and Dolls. Paul Simon and the Everly Brothers were big too, but that all just kind of blended into my background. The first time I listened to music, my sister let me listen to a copy of Hootie and the Blowfish's Cracked Rear View, and I remember loving it so much. I stole this CD from her and wore a hole through it.
Does it already have a hole in it?
Yep. I wore another one through it. Darius, that plug's for you. But other than that, a big, huge subliminal thing for me was The Simpsons. I later on found out that the individual directing the music was Alf Clausen, and he could just find so many different thematic ways to direct about, 18 bars of music. And beyond that, video games. Video games introduced me to a lot of different genres of music before I really even knew what the word genre meant, before music was ever a priority.
Are there any teachers or mentors to thank for your craft?
My two most significant teachers that I met at the Guitar Bar in Hoboken, Ben Phillips, who now plays out with the Pretty Reckless, and Rich Ferradun, who is like a jazz and country guy. While Ben taught me a lot of swagger and attitude and emulation and a lot of songwriting things, Rich really got me very free-flowing on the instrument, taught me my jazzier side, and just always had a different guy for me to listen to. One week it was Alan Holdsworth, another week it was Pat Martino, another week it was Danny Gatton, lots of really well-rounding research that I could take home and devour. A lot of this for me would be to take my imagination and hit the internet and just try and find things. Thank you, internet.
What gives you the most excitement musically?
I enjoy this wonderful, Freudian, provocative relationship I can share with my friends. On a more personal level, it's a form of expression that I could never achieve through other languages.
Max, it's an honor to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much. Recording is probably the most significant thing for me because the studio is really where my chops were honed, where I learned my phrasing. And I will always hold that very close to my heart.
When you write a song, is it music first or lyrics first?
Sometimes it'll just come out of you all at once. Sometimes you'll have a couple of lyrics. Usually for me, in those situations, it's music that might come first. But it's a very codependent relationship. I'm inspired to write music by everything. It's like a sensory thing for me. All of my senses sort of translate information into music. I am inspired also just by the challenge that the people that I work with present to me. I always have to feel like I can step my game up. It's a game. It's catharsis. It's fulfilling to me on multiple levels and in multiple ways.
Could you talk a little bit about when we met and when did we start working together?
I was formally introduced to Johnny through our mutual friend and my old high school buddy Jonathan Wohl, who was the bass player in a band with Johnny called One Word Song. In the beginning of 2009, Johnny began working on solo material. Seeing him in a position open for collaboration, I kind of knew I had to jump on this. We started talking more frequently, and I volunteered myself to work on whatever you wanted to throw at me. I had seen you live, I wanted to be a part of this. We did the beginnings of a song called Tailspin. And that song would develop, and in that time, we sort of began to develop one another's songs. And now we're going on 5 years of solidly and consistently working with each other, and I would say that that is my longest consistent working relationship, and one I'm very proud of.
The feeling is mutual.
Yeah.
Any highlights of our 5-year musical partnership?
I would be lying if I didn't say my solo album. Johnny put in a lot of work on that with me, and the two of us basically created an orchestra depending on the track. I would say the Tantrum Room as well, the fact that we've been able to take this place, double it in size, and actually bring some clientele in. Pyroclast was fun too. It was a lot of fun to really have no boundaries.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of this project because it's probably the most ambitious thing I've undertaken yet.
What are your contributions to this project, musical or otherwise?
I'm participating on 5 songs, about half the album. I'm doing everything from vocals to guitars to bass to a synthesizer. That was a lot of fun. And I'm also a songwriter on this album. I'm helping to co-write one song. I'm the writer of another song, and beyond that, gear. People have used my gear on some of this recording. I know my Les Paul made the rounds a few times. And I'm building another guitar for another track, which has been very interesting.
Is this your first vinyl record that you're a part of?
It is. Why haven't you been gentle? It is not my first time recording to tape, but it is my first time where we are recording to tape expressly to make a vinyl LP.
Me too. What's been the most exciting parts of this project so far for you?
The gear. I got to play new basses, and I got to use an old synthesizer. It was sweet.
They don't call me the alien for nothing.
Are there any local or lesser-known artists that you particularly enjoy?
Locally, I like The Fave, and Alice Janice, and Psychic TV, and my friends Liam Brown, and Dave Entwistle, and Steve Bailey, and not so locally, these awesome guys in Colorado called Kinetics, great funk band, and my friends from Norway, Kitchi Kaimio. They're really cool.
Do you have any gigs or music of yours that you want to plug?
Well, I'm working on a new album and some singles, and I hope to be more ambitious this time around.
That's great. So how long have you been a dog?
Five minutes.
The album is Johnny Rock and Friends for the record. The artist is Max Feinstein. See you soon. Rock on.